started the video. So welcome to Geeks and Rebels, guys. This is Brian. I'm going to be talking with a couple good friends and a couple old friends from 10 years ago that I haven't seen in like 10 years.
And just one new friend that we just met.
And then one friend I just met, and he's already a cool guy. And
came in here and set up a camera. He didn't even say anything to us.
This is going to be one of the best.
He just showed up. I don't really know this guy. He just showed up and was like, I heard you needed people.
I'm just like the guys from Strangers. I just show up in your front porch. Yeah. And next thing you know, I'm doing stuff like Jiminy,
like,
public on the phone.
Yeah. Random.
All right,
he didn't even say what he was
I probably jerked off in the sink, by the way.
So we'll start with you, Danny.
What's up? My name's Danny. If y'all know me, my name's Evil Monkey 11107 on Xbox. You can find me on Mixer and Twitter, the same name. Mm-hmm. I know Brian forever, so I show him a lot of support.
All right, and you?
I'm Eric. I'm in a band called North of South. I've known Brian for a long time. A really long time, since high school.
And you?
Oh, my turn, okay. Yo, Jarek Zero. He pretty much is the lead vocalist for When We Existed, and I just met Brian about
20 minutes ago.
About 30, yes.
Yeah, when he came in his front door.
Yeah, pretty much. I just say, hey, where's the drugs at?
All right, and for the two ladies on the phone with me right now, who are you guys? Kathy, and?
Ariel.
And Ariel, and where can we find you guys on social media and stuff?
You can find us at Ariel and Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
Really, Ariel and Kathy.
Can we also find you at Disney? Because Ariel sounds like a mermaid.
It is like a mermaid, but spelled differently. It's spelled way differently.
Are you a princess? Can I be invited to the ball? I know how to dance.
Of course.
I don't know how to dance.
He knows
Here's why. I just do white people dance.
So we were on the phone earlier, or actually about this entire week, and you were telling me that you somehow, some way, shape, or form that I'm surprised to learn about are into wrestling. And as professional wrestling aficionados that we are not, what can you guys tell us about
a little more like philosophers?
What can you guys tell us about yourselves as characters? Not as the characters themselves, but like how do you like being in like wrestling and whatnot?
We love it. We love it.
What do you love about it?
But we're actors, and we live in LA right now.
Yeah.
But
hell yeah.
and we love it because it's like basically an action movie but live.
Yeah.
And I love it because you get your character development, and usually they let you choose who you want to be as like persona.
Yeah.
And then you get to learn like cool moves, cool stunts. It's fun.
So you got to be like naturally athletic, right? Like you yourself, you're probably like you're into athletic stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Anything.
So it's like you're performing two different things at the same time. You get to act and be athletic at the same time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We went to the audition and they were like, flip this way and do this way. I was like, fuck yeah.
I think it was just one battle.
When I last saw you, you were at actually my birthday, I believe, and I think that was the last time I saw you physically. And then I just seen you on TV. Like I think you were on ESPN.
Yeah, we had a couple commercials.
Like, but yeah, it's no big deal. We're just on TV.
No big thing.
Who are your favorite like wrestlers from the Attitude Era?
Oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
Oh my God. Everyone loves Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was my shit, dude.
Both of you?
That's whatever the fuck you want. Also like Undertaker and I gotta say Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, Eddie Guerrero.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, that's really.
I'm a Goldberg fan. He was unstoppable.
He came back. You know that, right?
Yeah. I remember WrestleMania 20. That was, oh man,
Speaking of
That
WrestleMania,
was a really fucking muscular game of Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah.
So speaking of WrestleMania, they just had WrestleMania last night, and we give a shout out to Kofi Kingston. He just became the first African or Black superstar to win the WWE Championship. So congratulations!
Wow.
He was there for about 11 years, and just now getting his chance to be an actual champion. And
There haven't been no one.
No.
When did they
had the
start
world.
doing that?
They had the
belt?
world heavyweight, and they like made that defunct. And so the WWE Championship they have and that they've always had has never had a black champion until Kofi.
Holy crap!
When did they? Well, I mean, do they count it separately from like the old WWF?
Yes and no. It depends on how they try to go about it. Because sometimes, like actually, now I think about, I don't think even if they were to try that, I don't think anybody who was a black male ever won the championship until last night, and that was
Damn.
like,
11 years.
Wow.
Fuck, I'm old.
yeah. He's been there when I was in high school. Like I remember when he came out, I told myself he was going to be a champion, and I legit said he will be a champion.
Yeah, he was everyone's favorite.
For a
I
good
knew
minute.
for him so much, man.
And then they try to make him a comedy act, and that's not as bad as like. Actually, no, I can't say like a bad comedy act. Because the funniest comedy act I've seen is Joey Ryan.
Yeah.
He literally has a move where he does like a dickplex, where he can use his own dick to like suplex people and flip them over, and it's funny as hell.
Is there a move called the Dickcopter?
Sure, probably is somewhere.
So who's like? What's your favorite moment from like watching wrestling at any point? Just the craziest shit you've ever seen on pro wrestling that will always stick with you.
I don't know.
Like for me, it was Brock Lesnar superplexing the Big Show and collapsing the ring. I was watching SmackDown when that happened.
Yeah, for me, it was actually on WrestleMania 23 when they did the ladders match just to get the briefcase.
Oh, the Money in the
And
Bank.
then I see Jeff Hardy fucking doing the Swanton Bomb on Edge, and Edge is like totally fucked up. Like they had to take his ass on a stretcher, and that ladder did not stand a chance.
So
I can't remember which match it was, but there's one match like way back when everybody just like started hopping in the ring. It was like who was it? Steve Austin rode in on his ATV.
Okay, yeah,
That's
Kind of like a
that's just peak. I feel like if you condense
Peak
all
Attitude
of the 90s in wrestling into one moment, it would
Golden
probably
age of
look
wrestling.
just like that.
it's that and any match that's included The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin as like rivals, or
Yeah.
and then maybe interject Vince McMahon in there because he tends to like to put himself in everything. And
Yeah, pretty much.
like nowadays, a lot of people are mad about that because he adds himself into everything, and it doesn't work well. But it worked well this time with Kofi because he interjected in his match in Kofi and put himself in there, and you can tell he doesn't like being on camera anymore. But he puts himself in there anyways for some reason.
Well, the difference is that Kofi Kingston, he has pride, but Vince McMahon, he loves stroking his own ego.
This is exactly
Yeah.
what he has that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he doesn't
back
use
then,
lube for any of
Just
it.
get into anything for no reason.
Yeah.
Let me come out and tell you guys something. I saw this interview. He was talking to this reporter who asked him if he felt any kind of responsibility for any of the like wrestlers who had died prematurely because it's a trend in the industry.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I don't feel any responsibility for that. And he's like, but they were wrestling under, you were telling them to do all of this crazy stuff that definitely damaged their bodies. And he like literally, he just did one of those like crybaby faces and smacked this reporter's script in his hand. Like, what?
You gotta admit, he's pretty much like the Trump of like fucking
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah, but
like,
he's
he's almost
made it
illiterate.
so he's made it so far that like he doesn't have to change anything. That's the thing that both of them have in common.
I would like to say
Except-
I
except
love
the one
the
thing-
dancers in WWF or WWE where they used to like do the dancing moves.
They don't
Oh,
even do
Extreme
that
Expose.
Yeah, they don't even do those anymore because
God,
they don't want to be.
that was-
They don't want to
the
be.
worm. The
See-
worm was huge.
See, like they kind of
Oh,
they
yeah.
had those comedy acts, but like nowadays they don't have those anymore because they're trying to make it more of a sport.
Oh,
yeah.
But it's still entertainment, but as a sport.
But that was
And-
that was
Yeah, that was
always
the- that was like the golden age of
always the
WWE.
entertainment part of
Yeah.
wrestling was the dancing
Yeah.
and the pageantry of
Pretty much.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that was the
pageantry,
moment when I hit
yeah.
puberty.
yeah.
So, women's wrestling has actually come a long way, and I'm glad you are actually in wrestling because I'm glad I have actually know some people physically. Like I've actually grew up with some of these people.
Surprisingly.
And surprisingly,
Can I
so
do
like
it?
you guys are
Shout out to China.
do a shout out to China, yeah.
What's up, China? Love the food.
Yeah, she just got inducted into the
actual
Hall of
food.
Fame last night.
Yeah,
too.
dude, she used
Well,
to
not
be
last
my
night, on
favorite
Saturday.
woman wrestling when I woman wrestler when I was like growing up. Like
Yeah.
it was always China.
So
I
with
just realized I made something offensive.
so with the women's wrestling being super big now, and even had its own pay-per-view for WWE called Evolution, and you two are women wrestlers. Like, who were the big inspirations for you as women in the wrestling industry that actually told you, like, in your own mind, I can do this too?
Honestly, to be honest, growing up, I didn't care too much for women wrestlers. To be honest, I go for the guys
Mm-hmm.
because they always did more showtime. They had more showtime. Majority of the girls were more like off the storyline. You know, like you remember Stacy?
Yeah, Stacy Keibler.
Yeah, like she was hot and decided being hot. Like she didn't do much
It was Trish Stratus.
wrestling all
Yeah.
the time.
That's I think that's Vince's problem too. Is he was like they're hot. That's the resume right there. I don't need anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, see, ever since then though, they've changed it from being them called divas, which I never really was big into now they're just women wrestlers. Like they're like it's the women's division now.
Heard they got Ronda Rousey.
They have Ronda
I
Rousey.
like what's her name? The Japanese one, Kagetsu.
You mean
I'll be scared
Asuka?
to be in the ring with Ronda.
No, Kagetsu, the one with like she had a star on her eye. She always wore contact lens in one eye. She always did those crazy like lucha moves.
Is she in Shimmer?
She's separately. I think she's in a different division, but she was badass. Because she actually did, like, real moves. Yeah, but she'd actually hurt you.
Oh yeah, she was. At least like Sexy Star. She was a
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She was a luchador for AAA wrestling, and I heard like she actually almost like ruined it for women wrestlers. The way she like shoot wrestled, and what shoot wrestling is when
You're actually
you
making
actually
contact.
and you're actually doing things outside of what was like planned. And
Yeah.
she like she like injured. I can't remember the girl's name, but she injured the girl's arm. I think her name was Rosemary, and she like injured her just so she can keep the championship. And now I believe she's been blacklisted now from there. For like she's got like couple gigs here or there.
Lucha Libre is so extreme, man. You
'Cause
just- you
you're-
can't fuck with it.
Because you're like everybody's putting their faith into each other when you're in the matches. You're putting your own health in each other's hand.
Yeah.
And you don't want somebody to just take it upon themselves to injure you just so they can stay ahead of the game. First of all, that's not going to happen because once they find out that like you just shoot wrestled somebody, you're probably going to get fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's teamwork for sure. Like, the entire match is just teamwork, and if you fuck up your teammate, you're going to get booted for sure.
So you as professional wrestler, you think of it, you feel that even your opponent is sort of a team member to you?
Yeah, for sure. Because we make
really
sure
cool.
nobody gets hurt. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
wants to put the other person out for good, because this is a living year. And so if you really put someone out, then, like, how do you know how many other matches they have lined up that now they can't attend to? And then you also have a bad rep. And then no one wants to wrestle with you either. Yeah.
Actually, I remember years ago there was a video where a guy broke his neck doing a wrestling move. He broke his neck on the rope, and no one knew if he was actually fucking acting. Yeah, or just acting.
Yeah.
It was hardcore. I was looking at this like shit, and they actually
It's
went
like-
with it.
It's like having a heart attack during a game of charades.
Yeah. I'll be like, it's a dead body. Dead one.
See, my dog is out for some reason, but you know, it's whatever.
He's trying to look for the dead body.
He's trying to look for the dead body. Well,
He's trying to figure out how he could fuck me up.
You're like Clue. Who did it? The dog.
The dog does not like.
The dog in the ankle with the teeth.
Exactly. In the living room / kitchen.
Yeah. So, I really appreciate you guys giving me a couple of your time. I know you guys are typically busy. Because a couple of you, yeah. Like seriously, like, they're almost always busy. I'll say hi, like, and they'll just be like. Oh.
No, I get. I'm not even a successful actor, and I'm super busy. So.
I'm not even an actor. Period. I just lie all the time.
I love the honesty.
Oh, that wasn't honesty. That was actual lie too.
So I appreciate you guys calling. I'm sure I'm trying to make this not too long and drawn out. I would love to talk more wrestling with you guys next time.
Yeah.
Again, where they can find you guys, Ariel and Kathy, right?
Now we're gonna have an Instagram for our characters, but it's not going up yet.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up soon. Yeah. So we're the Dixie Darlings.
Oh, the Dixie Darlings.
Oh.
So yeah, I saw that poster and I was so excited. You have no idea how happy I was to see that. I was like, oh man, they're on honestly, I was already happy for you guys to be on TV, and then the moment I saw you guys were on wrestling, you saw how much I was about to start marking out on Instagram. I was like, oh, you guys know I'm doing videos, right?
You almost said a podcast.
You almost said a podcast.
Or vidcast. I mean, podcast sounds more.
Everybody in the club got a podcast.
Except I'm at two white guys just talking to each
Yeah,
other.
no. It's really just a bunch of artsy looking white guys like me standing around talking about, yeah, my podcast is about we play Skyrim and D&D at the same time.
I don't know what you guys do. I just write articles on my Instagram.
That happens. You play two things at the same time.
So I appreciate you guys calling. I will hopefully get you guys back on the show, and I will talk to you later.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Miss you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was the Dixie Darlings. I'm glad that they actually were able to make it on the phone call at least, because they've been super busy, and more busy than I've ever seen anyone ever busy in my life.
Dude,
they're everywhere.
It does make you question the name. Did the Darlings see dicks?
No.
Dixie Darling, or maybe it could be like a C that's made out of a peanut, just drawn out of a dick.
I would love to see that actually.
That's a Dixie.
So I appreciate them showing up and calling. So the next topic I want to talk about, now that I got wrestling semi out of the way for me today, because I know I'm going to talk about it more later after WrestleMania, is we were going to talk about a little D&D. And I meant to ask, have you ever played D&D?
Role playing, no, but I've played several MMOs.
What is that name of that game? We were just talking about
Neverwinter?
Neverwinter.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you'll get it. You'll really get it. It's like any role-playing game, pretty much.
Pretty much is that growing up in Newark, fucking ghettoest thing you can do is either just sit out in the fucking corner store. And for me and my friends, we're the rejects. It's talk about fucking role-playing games, and all the kids will be like, no fucking nerds.
See, that's how I always enjoyed the people who were not the same, which is why it's called Geeks and Rebels, but I actually enjoyed the people who are not like everyone else. Honestly, he got me more into everything I'm into now.
Yeah.
D&D. I loved metal music, but he had a much bigger taste.
I knew that bit. I didn't know I got you into D&D and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, because remember you took me to what's his name, Clint's house.
Yeah.
And we went to Clint's house and we played board games, and then they started talking about D&D, and then at first I was like, man, this is nerdy as hell, don't want to play it at all.
Bro,
and I actually started
That's
playing.
the same thing I said about it with the first time I was introduced to it. It's the same feeling I had. It's the same feeling.
I got into it after making my character sheet, because I love anything character creation, anything Skyrim, any game that has customization.
Like that one time we played New Vegas, and
I still have both games, Fallout 3.
we started making the character, and then like Vicky went upstairs, and then like 4 hours later,
We're still
4 hours
in
later,
character.
she came back and she's like, "All right, you guys been playing for 4 hours? Is
Yeah.
it good?" And we're like, "Oh, we just finished making the character."
It's such a great like feeling of when you're playing a game and it's like you're playing yourself in a game.
How
Yeah,
realistic did you guys get?
Oh, it was first it's it's New Vegas, so we still looked like sort of like a melted Barbie doll.
Oh, okay.
We tried to make it like a mix between us, but
Yeah.
I mean, mine still looks like Gollum.
Okay. My guy.
I mean, he got shot in the head, so
Fallout
what the fuck not?
76. My guy's a big fat guy. I made him big and fat just so I can see how it is to have the big guys.
There's not that many fat heroes now. I give you some respect.
Well,
I mean, as someone who struggled with childhood obesity, I never saw any like fat heroes. So you pretty much you're my hero. Now, totally.
and I made my Red Dead Redemption character extreme Mexican. One tortilla away from going full blow. Just saying.
Actually, I was like, you know, I question this now. You guys watch Chappelle Show, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, there's actually a thing we did a segment with the N-word family.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if I know that one.
Oh.
I still question this. Is that so? Wait, is there a black family called the Hunkies?
Yeah, probably.
I would love to see a show about that.
It's funny you would say that because I actually have in my phone a picture of the family, the milkman.
Yeah.
And so we were talking D&D earlier when we were outside waiting for him to show up.
Jerry here.
And so I apologize about the noise. We got people doing stuff behind us. So
We're making a mixtape.
yeah, we're doing definitely.
Other people are living their lives. Get used to it, kids.
Yeah, typically people here don't really give a shit about like what's happening in the background.
I mean, that's why we got the mic.
Yeah. So we do the D&D stuff, and I actually do it on Tuesdays with like my uncle. We play I think it's called Flux, and the game is actually hilariously named Flux because actually me and Juliana are we are into making a book where it's called Flux. There's like different timelines, and the characters can go to different timelines.
Like the Flux capacitor and like the future.
Yeah, it's like they can switch around, and the character is trying to save his friends from in these different timelines, but he's got to go up against a whole like time.
He doesn't
like,
realize
quantum
that
string
his life is in a constant state of flux. He can't control for
Actually,
he can only control for one variable when he goes back in time to change these things.
Well,
So then
it's actually considered quantum string theory. Is that as people would perceive time as a river, it's actually more of strings. That if you cut one, it's going to be unbalanced. So that's what you're practically describing right now. Is that one event would actually change an outcome, which not making it any more better than the
like
last.
a butterfly.
Well, yeah,
Exactly.
Usually
Yeah, 'cause there's
people go
there's
into
no
the
concept on time and space because in here, when you're on the rock, like which is Earth, that's what your time is what you're basically the sun's just baking you.
Yeah. Time will go by
Pretty much
slowly.
what it is.
That's
I
what
do mean to
time
work
is
on my
like in this
tan.
area of the
Yeah.
neighborhood. I don't know what time is like in another area of the neighborhood.
So
Some interstellar stuff.
I remember telling, I believe in the first episode when I was talking with Juliana, we were talking about it briefly.
Great
about,
episode, by the way.
Thank you. We were talking about how my character, when I had missed like a day of D&D with my friends, was tied to a tree, lost all of his weapons. I was like, why did you? I was like, they were like, okay, we're gonna keep playing with your character. Something's gonna happen to him.
Was
I
there
don't
semen
care.
involved?
No, there was no semen involved.
Damn, that's
Fortunately,
not so
there
funny.
was no semen involved. But my character was tied to a tree, and like I had to like keep rolling to try to get out of the tree, and I eventually got my one arm out. My one arm like guard, like I got the guard to come closer to me, and I straight up like Mike Tyson punched him. This was the words I used. I Mike Tyson punched the shit out of him so bad that I knocked him out, and a guy had like I guess I hit a critical roll or something, and like just knocked him out. And
One
like
Punch Man.
yeah, basically. And then like I go and then they're like, okay, how do I get out of here? I just knocked the guard out. It's like, wait a second, I have an extra arm. I can just untie myself.
That's
now.
not an arm. They're tied up. I don't know what that is.
You gotta start punching the ropes. You gotta work down the ropes hit points.
Yeah, and then the
don't know what you're
points
packing,
are like
man.
infinite. It just keeps going back up.
No, there's there's a really good D&D style game called Divinity Original Sin 2.
Yeah,
I've heard of that.
Oh man,
played
that
that.
shit is crack.
I gotta
If you're
get
if you're into that sort of stuff, like they have a whole level editor where you can use assets from that game to make your own levels with your own like,
Yeah.
consequence triggers and stuff like that. That's insane. I can't remember the story I was going to tell about Divinity, but I'm glad I brought it up. It's a really good
Glad you
game.
did too. Now I want to look it up.
So, we were speaking of these board games. Danny, you brought
Oh, BattleTech.
BattleTech.
Some stuff.
I'll take. Oh, I'm interested.
Okay, so
He's gonna have to explain what it's about.
all right, so BattleTech, man, it takes like
It's about these
place.
Yo,
In the
dude, this
future.
is so fucking lit.
So if you guys were into
part of the
like,
future.
were you guys ever into like Gundam?
yes.
Okay, so this basically is like Gundam, but everybody has their own customized.
I love how the book
Back.
looks like Metal Gear Solid before it became Metal Gear Solid.
Okay,
Yeah.
so look,
Well, yeah, no,
Actually-
dude, get a look at this thing. Like, that is.
this is every tech, every mech that's in the actual BattleTech.
I've noticed,
Series?
I've noticed a lot of similarities. Like it reminds me of the robot in.
So, but you guys,
RoboCop.
you just said something about Metal Gear Solid.
Yes.
So if you
Yeah.
see right here, doesn't that look like the Metal Gear?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And
so
also,
basically, Hideo Kojima basically went and he took a
Oh,
he took
they-
a little page off of this. So that means that he's kind of like he knows that this exists.
yeah.
So a lot of people like even in the D&D world, and that coincides with like Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
and everything. What they bring
Lord of the
elves
Rings
and
is-
everything.
yeah, inspiring,
That's,
like,
that's
WoW and stuff
basically
like that.
a lot of the nowadays, even with Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair,
Like-
Hideo Kojima was pretty much like the Guillermo del Toro. Well, if I would
That's
say
a good
better,
way of putting it.
a
That's
better
good way of
Guillermo
putting
del
it.
Toro.
Yeah,
Of games, yeah.
Because
it's
his
like-
games comes out fucking golden, and even if so, like Konami, if you're watching, suck my dick. Yeah, Konami pretty much will take everything away from Kojima, and Kojima will still get the credit for it.
Yeah, like what I actually interested in is his new game. Was it Death Stranding?
Yeah,
Man, that
Have you
thing
played
looked-
that
Metal
looks
Gear
like a
Solid
movie.
5?
I played all of them.
Okay.
I still have the collection in my house.
Yeah.
I have like a shit ton of catalog of games from Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, all the way down to PlayStation 1.
Did you play Phantom Pain, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing
I
a
have-
little bit- the only one I
It should,
haven't
it
played.
should clue you in a little bit about what Death Stranding is about.
So the only
They
thing
should.
haven't-
I'm still looking for it. I mean, I haven't beaten it because
Have you listened to the cassette tapes?
I tried not to. I spent most of my time listening to
Yes.
cassette tapes because they got great music, and then
Yeah.
there's the quiet ones where like all you hear is people talking about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
Like,
it
it'd
clues
be
you
weird-
in
it'd be-
because there was like the parasites are what kind of create those shadow warriors.
yeah, I fucking hate
Yeah.
those things. They're,
See, wait, the only Metal Gear game I hadn't played was that new one that came out that looks like straight garbage.
Metal Gear
one?
Survive.
Survive.
oh,
yeah.
fuck that.
The one called Survive that just represented
Pretty
that
much.
Metal Gear is dead.
Yeah.
Didn't survive. They didn't make it.
Yeah.
They didn't make it a year
it
without
looks like-
Kojima,
Yeah,
man.
it looks like it tried to do everything right with Metal Gear Solid 3, with Metal Gear Solid 5, and the guys like this, like, there's no fucking way we're gonna pull this out.
No, they once they fucked up with
They
Kojima-
just slit their wrists. They practically just slit their wrists because of this project.
So let's just continue on this real quick.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We just got off topic with this Metal Gear.
I'm sorry. I have ADD. Sorry.
So this is a panther, right? This guy is pretty funky looking.
Looks
I
like a
don't know.
robot to me.
Yeah, you can show it. I don't know. You can take this.
What's
and
these
print.
lines here? What's these lines?
Those lines are basically the outline of how the mech looks.
And what about this dark here? Oh, that's
Yeah,
shot.
these look, these
Yeah,
look
like a
like
shadow.
rough drawings.
Yeah,
You know?
and all this stuff was made back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like all 80s inspired drawings of what a mech or what that world would be.
Oh, does this
You were
predate
saying-
Transformers? By any chance?
It
The original?
kind of
Probably
has that
about
little
the same
transformer
time.
feel to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it isn't or it is not, but it does. They don't transform into cars or anything.
Yeah.
They don't transform and roll
You were
out.
saying about the art
I
influence.
just feel a little bit quiet. You guys don't mind for
The art influence, like a lot of this stuff goes back to like, Gundam and like that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima, you're with, like, I won't get too far off,
Yeah.
but he like you were saying, he would take inspiration from stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the most notable
spots where he used
Something
that
like
type
this.
of inspiration was on, I think it was the Metal Gear. It was either the first Metal Gear or the second one for the SNES. That he the guy who was supposed to be Snake on the cover
Yeah.
was modeled after
After-
Kyle Reese
Yes,
from Terminator 1.
That was actually what's the word I'm looking for? Certified, because the Angry Video Game Nerd actually just pointed that
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
Sutherland.
Yeah.
Shout out to Keith Sutherland. Voice in the
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland. Jack Bauer.
Jack out.
I don't
When he's retired, he doesn't sleep. He hunts.
I mean, this is a great game because it's just like extremely realistic.
Yeah.
You can blow up your ammo.
I would love to play this
Yep.
game so that way I can do my Snake voice and be like, "Are you to the base? Can you read the Colonel?"
It actually takes a lot of this inspiration, a lot of these armies that you can actually play like units. Like last weekend I played like a unit of I played 3 mechs, all on the board myself.
Oh my god! And these things are super in depth too. You have to worry about a lot of different things. Like you should show me that damage diagram you were showing me earlier.
Oh man, let me show you this.
These things have like just getting hit with anything. They have like 3 different levels of hit bars they need to consult to see if you pierce the armor.
This would be your like sheet on what you would get.
That's your character sheet. That's how you keep track of yourself.
So when you get shot at, say you get shot at with a laser gun, with an auto cannon, a PPC, which is like this huge freaking cannon that they'll shoot like a big laser at you, and these things they get pretty gnarly. Like you can get hit and you can lose an arm, and you lose that arm, and you may have like your arm has your best weapon on there.
Oh, not my throwing arm.
Basically that's it.
Not my other throwing arm.
Not my jerk off and I need to spank girls with.
Yeah.
I'll use the other one then.
Cool thing is though,
It's not as good.
your mech may have a weapon in your leg, so you may
You can
not
have
even
them
need
anywhere.
that arm.
You can have it anywhere.
Yeah, it could be anywhere.
Anywhere.
Weapon in your
Anywhere.
I would love to make a modification. Can I turn my dick into a gun? The balls can be the ammunition.
Like that Dust Till Dawn gun.
Yes, exactly. That was
Get out of this thing.
I'll just put a little handle on I guess the shaft and be like this, like pew pew. I don't have to move my body. I just have to move the dick.
It got super ultra realistic this weekend. I was doing a lot of death from above. I would mess up like because you get a shot of opportunity where you roll like before you get to your other guy he's trying to survive, so he gets to shoot at you while you're up in the air. So I got shot. And all I come down is in a big flaming ball right behind him. So it's funny because
no use to running.
That role playing because you can't see it. You can't really. It's not really computerized for you. So you gotta remember, like, you gotta describe it, and you see.
Gotta have a vivid imagination.
All you see is Danny's character go up in the air, and since everybody gets to see what I'm doing, like I tell them I'm doing a death from above, and I jump up in the air. The other guy can actually shoot at me if he's not in combat with me. So everybody gets to shoot at me.
I would love to have a miniature character of me so that when you do that, I'm like, no fucking way.
Like whenever I'm playing like any type of like board game like D&D or something, I look for loopholes in everything. Like
that's the best.
Everything.
That's what metagamers do. Yeah.
Dude, in D&D, I had a character. He was a bugbear. And we got into this huge fight against the centipede. And in a monster adventure, especially with like any group, like monsters, they don't face little other humans. They face freaking stuff that is huger than this house.
Yeah.
So a centipede always is going to have poison. Like that's his main like focus is a poison. So when you think of a centipede. A centipede's poisonous anyways.
Yeah.
And so they secrete poison. So when we were fighting them, my character, obviously I'm a fighter and I'm dumb. So my character was based on he's dumb, he's going to want to hack and slash. So I ran in. Like I thought I was Captain America, booting down the door. I'm just like, get down!
I think if this doesn't exist yet, I should be the sculptor. Be like, don't worry, man, I got your back.
Just like, what can I build?
So to make a long story short, sometimes when you're playing D&D, you got to think strategically, and you don't want to run in all the time.
Yeah.
You want to play. You might want to play back because you never know if that one character has a poison hit.
Probably good advice for a lot of different things.
That's why I'm an archer and
the
everything,
hard
because I don't like being hit with anything.
You just like to be in far distances, so that way shit goes wrong.
I can snipe or run away.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, don't worry, guys, I'll bring help.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
You always let like at least if you're a cautious player, like we always play as cautiously. Like you always want to go up there and at least like play back or play to a medium area with some sort of hitting weapon.
See, I carried like a short sword or a knife, but I always was an archer. It was always archer, and he knows exactly how my character is going to be. Green Arrow. It won't be Green Arrow.
Oh man,
Which
Arrows
one? The soon to be
so
Charlie
good.
Jahan Green Arrow?
No, it's always going to be the Stephen Amell Batman-esque Green Arrow.
I'm sorry, I mean, Stephen Amell had his run. It's just that I kind of wish it could have been anyone else to be Green Arrow.
No, I liked him.
I think Stephen Amell was a good Green Arrow, but I think that the writers of the show
They love Batman.
they died. They bleached Bruce Wayne's hair and just put him in a Green Arrow cosplay.
Just make him even more sexier than supposed
got,
Ben Affleck.
And make him nicer by casting a Canadian person.
Yeah, I did notice he kept saying boots a lot.
See, if you haven't seen not the previous episode, but the episode before, I was in my Green Arrow costume. He was going to join, and I'm still a little miffed that he couldn't make it.
I am too.
But he was going
That
to
whole
be.
day was so fucking slow.
So you were going to be either.
You didn't
Nightwing or
have the you didn't
Punisher.
have the thing.
I
that
have
you
a
had-
mask, but I kept it off because
okay.
you know, like it's on me at least when I see myself in the picture. It looks weird.
I saw the picture though. That you
You have an
a
actual
full-
mask.
Honestly, I was gonna come here today wearing my Captain. No, it's actually Shazam shirts.
Oh, see, we put it together. That would have been great.
I mean, because
It took
I
me-
kind of look like him, but problem is that I prefer being called Captain Marvel.
Oh,
It
That's
took
his
me so
original
long
name.
to get into the habit of calling it Shazam.
Yeah.
Because it
It
was
seemed
originally
like such an
Captain
awkward transition. It's like,
Yeah.
we can't use this name anymore, so what should we name it? Just like, how about the magic word that he yells? And it's like, can we choose a cooler word?
If you think about it now, the way that Black Adam is, he can't say Shazam or else he's going to turn back to his old decrepit and death self.
Yeah, that's why they call him Black Adam, not Shazam too.
And if he steps on a crack, he'll break his mother's back.
She's in the grave.
Yeah.
She's clearly dead.
Yeah, and
All I hear is like clack. What was that?
hey man, you don't want to dishonor his mother.
So how did he figure out how to say Shazam? Did he do?
Well, he was the original Shazam.
Up and away.
Well, actually, put it this way, it was actually established in the beginning. He was actually one of the Egyptians, and he was one of the lesser ones. So him and his brother were actually chosen by Shazam, the wizard, to be the guardians. So that's when Black Adam was like, "No, I have to do this myself," and he ended up killing his own brother, just to gain all the powers.
Like,
That's why he became Black Adam.
He should have just played Yu-Gi-Oh instead.
Right?
See, like the thing with Black Adam too is he's aged. His body's still aging. He's immortal, but internally his body will age. So if he ever used the word
His
Shazam,
original form.
So if he ever used the word Shazam, he dies.
Well, actually, the
But-
way you put it this way, Shazam is more of a universal term if you are the guardian for the wizard. See, the way I see it is actually I observed it from DC Universe online, is that when he said Shazam, he did not die, but he ended up coming back fucking up Superman. So it's a way of using it as a universal term, as a way as when Captain Marvel in the Justice League Unlimited show was able to fight Superman to use his lightning bolt to
That's
fight
because
against him.
Superman's weak to magic, though.
Exactly.
Like,
So pretty much it's a universal term of magic, and it's all done mentally as well as verbally.
see, speaking of,
So he's able to if he gets himself in the right state of mind, he can say Shazam without the
turning himself
Exactly.
without the bad.
Like
okay.
if you saw the movie, not the one that came out, the Superman Shazam Hour.
Power Hour thing.
Yeah, that.
Oh, I
You
remember
notice
that.
that he actually just said, "Fuck it, I'm not going to do this anymore." So he ended up sacrificing himself.
So is that the one that had like it had like 4 or 5 different plot lines
Yes.
that I was like, dude, they really like
They really went all the
they're
way
like,
in.
what is the like the most fundamental? He was like asking him. He asked Superman, "What's the like most unanswerable question in the universe or something like that?" Or no, they're like, "What happens when an immovable object?"
That's All Star Superman.
Or when a
Yeah, it's when
that
the
one.
immovable object meets the unstoppable force.
Yeah,
they
and he was
surrender.
like, they surrender, and it's like, man, that had a lot of build-up. I kind of expected, like,
Yeah, that's actually Isaac Newton's law.
At least it's not like what it was when Superman fought Manchester Black. Manchester Black was whooping his ass.
That was the
And then
shit,
Superman
man.
finally decided, you know what? Be more aggressive. And
Yeah.
he literally made it seem like he was killing everybody. Like
Yeah.
he even used the red eyes to like intimidate people and whatnot.
Well, yeah, that's actually showing his full potential as powers you never see before. Like he had
Created
telepathy.
tornadoes.
Yes, he had telepathy. He was fucking mind fucking people.
Yeah. Superman.
I'm like this kid.
He's just got every fucking power. He's just like, I got telepathy so I can hear what you're saying. I got telekinesis so I can move you, and I can ruin your fucking credit score too.
It's like I'm logging on to your
Is
bank.
that the reason why I'm
So like I think what they did was they had Superman have his power. His actual power is his imagination. So whatever the fuck he wants it to be, he will do.
Yeah, that was pre-crisis
No,
Superman.
I've always noticed that like he always has like different powers in different planets.
Yeah,
Like, it's always how the sun affects him.
Yeah.
No, true. Well, it's actually based on different types of rocks. See, I actually wrote an article about how there are different types of kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
And recently in Injustice 2, I did not know there was a gold kryptonite to render
Yeah.
this powerless.
Yeah.
So that's when I realized that this is, if you read my article on Instagram, you realize that the Green Lantern Corps is actually responsible to the death of Krypton. So when you realize that, is that that's actually where his power comes from, is that it's the cause of the Green Lantern Corps.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I
mean,
think it's
What
all,
did they
it's
have
all-
to do
all
with the
that goes in
destruction of
together.
Krypton, though? What
well,
did they...
think about it this way: the John Stewart Green Lantern, the Black Green Lantern, he was able to destroy planets. I forgot the name of it, and that's the full capability of the Green Lantern Corps. See, they've been around for so many times, but you didn't even think about this. If they've been around for such a long time, how come they did not prevent the death of Krypton?
Yeah, it is true. They didn't even show up.
Exactly. So that's where you get thinking.
Yeah, they were even in there when they were fighting that Steppenwolf on the Justice League movie.
They even they helped stop planets. Like, who was the Green Lantern that was supposed to save the planet?
Yeah, I guess how likely is it that they wouldn't have shown up? Like that, the Green Lantern, he was like, okay, fuck, I gotta go all the way to Krypton. All right, well,
He woke up
I gotta hit
hungover.
the, I gotta. He's like trying to do his cryo sleep thing, and he's like, oh, God, I'm just so tired. Just take me there. And he gets there like a week late.
He's like, fuck.
Yeah, no, he wakes up. He's like, oh man, I feel great.
Here's a better question.
Wait.
If Tom Cruise is going to be Green Lantern, does that make Top Gun a prequel to Green Lantern?
That's what a lot of people were thinking too, because he was an Air Force pilot.
Exactly.
If they used the Hal Jordan one, he could easily make him. They were thinking about making like a buddy cop thing too with
John Stewart.
Jon Stewart, which
I'd
I
actually
kind
love
of
to see
thought was kind of cool. Two Green Lanterns, one is like super straight laced.
Yes.
Another person who's like all about imagination and fun.
Yeah.
Which one would Tom Cruise be?
He would be.
Got to be careful giving that guy too much imagination.
He might do his own stunts and forget he has the Green Lantern ring.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, why am I hanging off this wrecking ball?
He's just like, well, okay, well, we're doing this scene in space, but actually, in no green screen, I'm gonna go into the vacuum of space wearing nothing but a Green Lantern wetsuit.
Action.
That is too fucked up.
Action.
That's something Tom Cruise would do, though.
And he would do that crazy ass laugh of his in the middle of it, just.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Did you get it? Did you get it?
He'd just be dying, freezing to death in space. Like, scene end. Cut. Okay, pick me back up, guys. And he's in his head his entire time. He's not speaking not a word. He's thinking this. He's like, okay, guys, come get me.
Everybody's just looking at him like, when's he gonna, like, he can't move, so he thinks he's safe, so everyone's just looking at him like,
Is he gonna?
he's
be,
gonna give a signal, right? And they're like, yeah, he'll give a signal. And they're like, but what if he? I mean, it's in space.
It's been 20 minutes.
Isn't that? It's like a vacuum. Like, should we check on him? And they're like, it's Tom Cruise. You think space can kill Tom Cruise? And they're like,
I mean,
Okay.
H hasn't killed Tom Cruise yet.
and they're like, okay, space might be able to kill Tom Cruise, but do you want to go tell Tom Cruise that?
Tom Cruise.
He'll be up for it,
Tom
I
Cruise.
guarantee you.
We'll kill Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Most likely.
Tom Cruise.
I mean, if you
gonna
think
die.
about it, he probably just thinks himself that being in that fucking Mummy movie with, what's his
Oh
name?
man, the
Russell
one
Crowe.
the one that had the commercial release that had no music in it.
Yes.
Oh man.
I mean, I'm thinking to myself is that he probably wants to kill himself after being in the movie. He's just talking to Russell Crowe. He's like, "You're a younger man," and like, "I'm older than you, man. What is happening to me?" Maybe he's the real
He
Mummy.
was Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
He
No,
has
those were
Benjamin
big.
Button, dude. He has Benjamin Button disease. Tom Cruise, I thought he was gonna die when he was on the side of the plane in Mission Impossible.
Oh.
I was like, dude, just
He likes doing his own stuff.
Well, you know, I haven't seen the recent one, Fallout, and
It's actually not a bad one. It's pretty good.
I'll have to check it out. But I already know that it's not going to die because they're going to make another, Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah.
I really want to see it just to see if it's if Henry Cavill is good enough in that movie to
Oh, man, he's
justify
great.
the Snapchat filter face he had in
I want
the
to say
scenes
this right
of
now.
Justice League.
I love Henry Cavill and he should not step down from being Superman. He's the only actor who took up the mantle and still have an acting job.
I think it's a bureaucratic problem that's causing all the problems with DC. They just haven't found
It's hard to put for DC for like the Superman and the Batman.
Well, it's
like,
actually
you can't
not.
do time period pieces with the Batman now.
I would say it's something wrong with Marvel. Well, Warner Bros. And DC is that it's the fan base. Like everyone is so cliched on Marvel.
It's
like,
almost toxic. A little bit.
exactly.
well, yeah,
They're cliched on that Christian Bale.
but
Yeah.
they
They're
also
booking
don't
on
have
Joker,
like a
that's
super
why.
strong they don't have DC. The way that their storytelling is they're much more about like the paragons. You know, they're going for the idealism, which is like the sort of Kantian way of looking at things.
Yeah, I mean, well, the way I see it is that with like some people that they have low expectations. Like when Aquaman come out, everyone was like, "Oh, this movie's gonna suck," And,
Well, see, what I think it
I was
is
waiting for
that
suit.
is that
I was waiting for that orange and
actually, they were looking
bottom.
for Jason Momoa in his abs.
with Marvel, they got people who knew how to take the sort of like down-to-earth storytelling that Marvel wanted, relatable storytelling, and turn it into something that wasn't just like
Dark
paste
movie.
or a bunch of like really like completely impassable just nerdy shit that no one could understand.
My thing
So-
is with DC is their movies are way too grim. Like
Well,
in feel. at
See, the
least.
thing is that I feel like they can't pick a tone. They have a couple of different
I
people
agree
that
with
they want to.
I agree with that.
They
There's
really
a tone that it's like, dude.
Look at
it's actually
Suicide
going-
Squad.
yeah,
Look at Suicide
That's what I was
Squad.
saying. That's weird. It
Well,
goes
that's the
from
thing.
there.
Here's the thing. Well, Part A and Part B. Part A is because ever since Batman Begin came out and the whole trilogy after that, movies wanted to copy that dark tone.
Yeah.
And David Ayer, who directed Suicide Squad, he had a big head. He thought that this movie was going to beat Marvel, and he didn't even think about controlling his actors. He just mind fucked them. Like if you heard like the things with Jared Leto and Will Smith, like Jared Leto really like messed himself up.
Yeah, he really put himself.
Why we shouldn't cast method actors to play the Joker?
Pretty much, you should not cast Jared Leto because
That's
he's
why
blind
isn't
himself.
that the same thing that happened with Heath Ledger? He was method acting into Joker.
Yeah.
He had a journal, which was pretty crazy. You can see it on the internet. It has a journal, and it has like him, and you see how he transformed himself, where he stuffed
Take him down
himself
the
into a
notes.
hotel room
Yeah.
for like literally a week, and it was just.
No, it was like a whole month.
So, but
Oh, okay.
well,
I didn't even know that. Yeah. But
Like,
his
I don't think it was
journal
as bad
is
as
crazy.
with like Jared Leto. I think he kind of learned from Heath Ledger's kind of mistakes.
Yeah.
But he was still in there because he was sending people dead rats and shit.
Yeah. Dead pigs.
Like dead animals. I was
It
like,
felt
yo.
more like publicity stunts to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but you still don't want to do that when you're
The
doing
thing
shows.
is I think that the company probably encouraged him because they know that he's an eccentric actor,
Yeah.
and they're like, just do some weird shit to create some buzz, and he was like, all right, yeah, fine.
If anything, I wouldn't say Jared Leto's Joker was a great Joker. I'd say it was actually a different take on a image, like the whole idea of the
It was
smile.
a modern up joke.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear like this is I know I understand I don't want to interrupt that, but
Go ahead.
method acting's so crazy, and like you guys were talking about, there was a director called Michael Mann. Have you ever seen the movie Heat?
Yes. Okay,
so,
now I know where you're going
the
with this.
background of the story is that director told him, "Hey, go into the bank and pretend like you were actually you're scoping it out, and you're going to rob the place." And he told the actual team, like he told Tom, I think his name's like Tom Sawyer or Tom
Savini?
Tom Sizemore.
So it's size- yeah.
And then he told Val Kilmer and Robert De Niro, who was a team of 3 guys who was heisting the bank.
Yeah.
He told them, like, go in there, look at how many cameras are in there, how many bank tellers, who's the manager, who's this.
Yeah.
And they set it up like you're actually gonna heist a bank like cowboys, like you're going in there, guns a-blazing, you're gonna take it down, and that's how Jared Leto or any of those method actors are. Like
Yeah,
you're
I
gonna
mean,
think like how you're gonna think the Joker's gonna be like he's.
I mean, I think they're just playing the same playbook as Hitchcock when he did Birds.
Yeah.
He, like,
and then
it's just-
and then even Heath Ledger, like doing the like. That's what Joker was all about. It was making bombs.
True. I mean,
and
yeah.
making the Batman go crazy on trying to stop him.
I just think that when that mindset that what Gerald was trying to do is that he tried to like bring out the character, but he did it the wrong way because the character is like fucking crazy.
He didn't
Well,
like
it also
like,
has to do. I think it also has to do a lot with the fact that like Marvel really has figured out their storytelling formula.
Yeah.
like I was saying, I think DC wants someone like Kevin Feige. They need someone to do that sort of thing because right now they have a lot of really good aestheticians.
Yeah.
They have people who are really good at making good-looking movies, good-looking scenes and screen caps and stuff like that, but not necessarily good at connecting them thematically or intellectually. Like Zack Snyder can make beautiful pictures, but if he doesn't have like Watchmen is.
It's actually a very decent movie.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love the movie because the movie's
thought of a bad guy,
or
a good guy being the actual
Well, actually,
bad
it's
guy.
not really that. It's the idea if you were to say if this was actually real events.
yeah.
Watchmen
If
was that.
superheroes exist, this is how the government would abuse them and ruin them.
And not only that, superheroes are not always like Boy Scouts. These guys were really
Yeah.
fucked up like people.
They can't be
yeah.
the peace. Like
Could be,
if there
yeah.
was a peace in the world, like and
It was
there
created
some-
through osmosis.
Yeah, it's like what would be the use of a superhero afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, is that
But-
with Watchmen, I mean, I always thought Frank Miller did it, but it was actually Alan Moore. Is
Yeah.
that it actually dealt with a lot of politics. It dealt with like the ideas that what would happen if these
Nuclear fear.
Exactly, and that with superheroes, not being super, and the
Cold
only
War.
superhero is actually practically a god, which is
And he's disillusioned with it because of how super he is. He's too super.
Like he's disconnected from humanity, and
But like something like Watchmen, when Zack Snyder made that movie, he had something like just really good. A lot of people call, and I would agree, Watchmen the greatest graphic novel of all time.
Yeah,
I
and
agree
I
too.
haven't read all graphic novels, but I certainly have read that one, and I really like it.
Yes.
He had something really good to work from there, and he has lots of good stuff to work from, like with Batman versus Superman, but he really
didn't
doesn't
give it a-
understand the
yeah.
fandom and doesn't know what parts to focus on what, so he just he gets some really cool ideas and some really cool looking shots and some really good actors who will accidentally make his movies good for him. But
Pretty much is that the problem with Batman vs Superman is that it had a lot of running time and there was nothing to fill it with except Superman actually being Superman.
because he doesn't really know how to write like dialogue. He doesn't
Yeah.
know how to give you like Superman could have told Batman so many times that they had Martha. You know.
Yeah. And he could hear and see things, but he was just like, no, I'm just gonna let Batman.
He
try to
really
fight
wanted
me.
the
Yeah, that was actually
Zack-
a big fucking question mark. It's like if
Yeah.
he knew where Martha was, or at least he had all these powers, he could have done it himself.
And why couldn't he? Why also couldn't he just say, "Hey, Batman, they kidnapped a woman and they're gonna kill her with a flamethrower if I kill you, unless I kill
that's
you."
Hollywood. Let me tell you, that's Hollywood trying to bring drama
That doesn't
into,
need
and
No,
yeah,
I
that
think
doesn't need
it's-
to be in there.
That and they kind of messed up Doomsday. Like when they did that, I'm already saying to myself, like that's not Doomsday. That's Bizarro. They
That's
made
like
it out
the
of
Hulk.
yeah.
Remember, like the Hulk with Edward Norton. That's on the internet. Everybody's just like, "Why is a Hulk changed?"
You mean the Abomination?
Yeah, and then the Abomination came out of nowhere. It's
See,
like,
Maybe that's what it was.
You see, like with the whole Watchmen thing, they're coming out apparently on I think it's like HBO or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's
It's a TV series, and then if you haven't read the new,
cool with that.
the new Watchmen, like or the
Doomsday Clock.
Doomsday Clock,
Yeah.
yes, that Doomsday Clock book is really good if you are into like the way like the original format of Watchmen was. A lot of people nowadays are like, I just want it to be more like how Batman is because Batman's in it, but it's like you want it to be
Alan
like
Moore
Batman.
didn't design the characters to be like reusable for something like
Well,
Batman.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
here's the thing, guys, that I've made a conspiracy about is that, and people could try and disagree, and there's no connection between Alan Moore or Frank Miller, is that the whole time premise of Watchmen is taking place at the exact same time as Frank Miller's Batman, The Dark Knight Returns. Because if you think about it,
Dark Knight
there's-
Returns happens like way in the future though. It happens
actually it happens in the 80s. Like, that's the whole...
Oh yeah,
yeah, because remember,
yeah.
look,
It was written.
I was talking this up to one of my friends. I mean, we're always Batman aficionados.
Yeah.
Like, 80s, big mob America. The mob
Yeah.
was filled, and that's what the bad guys were in a Batman series. This
Pretty
is
much.
like that's who created your bad guys in the future of Batman.
Exactly,
Was
and-
because they had that mob mentality of like, oh, I'm gonna go fight the bad mobster and clean up the streets.
Yeah,
And that's
and,
it.
and practically, where I'm leading on to this is that this is actually happening inside the mind of Batman, where his confliction between society and how he views his friend, his partner, Superman, and that each of these characters represent the personalities of Batman. Like Osmodeus is his intelligence, Niall is his technician skills, Rorschach is obviously detective, and pretty much Dr. Manhattan is actually Superman in a representation form, as well as Silk Spectre is his morality. So if you think about it, this is actually just downplaying the strategy, or at least his battle against during the time of Dark Knight when he's fighting Superman.
See, I feel like authorial intent is irrelevant because things are just more interesting. Like, there's no reason why you couldn't read it as that, and just like, I wonder how I would feel reading this, imagining that it's happening in Batman's head. That's a good lens to put it through to change your experience reading it again.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
See, if they were to do like they're doing with their reboot with Watchmen,
Mhm.
I wonder because it's not a long book.
No, it's actually very short.
It's very short, and you would think, how would you make that a series unless you cut like
I think
everything super small and just add more to it than it
I
needs
think
to.
they're just adding more backstory of like here's the Watchmen, the Minutemen.
I think they're focusing mostly on like, because Watchmen sort of showed you the ultimate dissolution after like everyone had their beer gut and bald head after high school. Everyone grew up. That was them all having their terrible midlife crises.
Yeah.
But they're probably gonna go for the younger ones, like see Rorschach before he was such an asshole.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is that
Rorschach watched something he found out about.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh no, he
like-
saw something horrible. It's understandable that he's a dick, but he's a dick.
Well, he actually had to do with build up of trauma. Like the whole thing, the whole powder keg leading up to that disappearance of the girl, really set it off to where he is now. Like he's always been.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying I'm saying he is right to feel the way that he does, but he also is an asshole.
Well, yeah. Well,
It's okay that
if you
he's
think
an
about it, is that he's always going to be like this, whether or
Yeah.
not the situation would have been different. Like if you notice, like he really messed up those kids that were picking on him.
Yeah.
Like, he bit off one of their faces off, and I'm like this, like dude, I would want to fucking learn from him. It's like I'm being bullied. I want to get these guys off me.
So I was gonna do Rorschach and the Crew before it was in the movie.
Yeah.
It will be dealing with that time, like
Yeah.
that little time out.
See,
But,
I was thinking of if you read the new book, you know that Rorschach, obviously the original Rorschach, is dead.
yeah,
Like, he got like eviscerated.
yeah. He
was just
Vaporized.
exploded. Yeah.
Yeah. So the new Rorschach is a black guy who really thought that he was Rorschach.
Oh, it must have been his doctor, right? The one that was interviewing him when he was in prison.
The black guy, I think so.
I think that guy
maybe it
died
was
in the-
the kid that was like reading the comic books on the comic book stand.
I think both of them died when
Oh yeah.
Ozymandias did the fake attack. I remember them in like the credits and the back of the book, just seeing like them standing there like that, and then their blue
Oh, yeah,
skeletons.
damn it. Yeah, now I'm old because I watched that movie years ago too, and I still have the movie on my phone.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on the hour mark. We'll probably call it here. Again, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Mixer, Twitter at EvilMonkey11107. Shout out to the Black Spade Bandits, the Sinful Nation, Sinful 7, and the Flatneck Nation. They know who they are. They know who they are.
I have an Instagram. It's Eric Thurston. You can follow that. I post some stuff on there sometimes. I'm also gonna be in a play. I'm gonna be in The Wizard of Oz. If you feel like
Toto?
seeing The Wizard of Oz, I'm gonna be the Tin Man. I did tell them that I wanna be some. I was like, can I be the dog? I want to wear like a big furry suit and walk around on all fours, completely extended.
Or
not
just
even-
walk around and just talk.
Just
and
being a really weird, uncanny valley
Should
dog.
get out of this forest.
I would like to see that happen on. It's my turn. Sorry. Yeah, Jared Zero. You can find me on Instagram. I do a Instagram article called Daily Crop where I review, talk about old stuff or at least upcoming things. You can also follow my band When We Existed on Facebook as well as Instagram as well. And you can find our stuff on SoundCloud.
And you can also remember to find me at StormLeo25 on Instagram, or you can follow the channel on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram at Geeks and Rebels. Make sure to like and subscribe, and also follow the Dixie Darlings on Instagram or wherever you find them at, and follow Women of Wrestling, sorry, and make sure you can give them all the exposure you can too.
And remember, it's Dixie Darlings, not Dixie Darlings.
Yeah. It's not an initial. Dixie. That one, Dixie.
All right, guys. Thank you, and we'll talk to you later.
Beat me up, Scotty.
All right, we did. Good job.
I really gotta pee.
Yeah, I figured somebody was gonna have to use the restroom so the bathroom.
Actually, I need to stretch my leg.
Yeah. Yeah, we're stopping at this right here.
That was kind of fun. I feel like I was being 100% dickish. So
No, see, like that's the point where everybody's to be themselves. And then we'll do that. Oh, you still have that camera. I almost forgot about it for like a good minute.
what am I doing behind the scenes?
Yeah.